Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Hot Topic Discussions, Conversations with Adult Males, Domestic Violence Education. How's everybody doing? I know it's been a couple weeks, but I'm back at it, and I want to share with all of you about the topic we discussed today, which was the loss and grief process of a relationship, when a relationship ends. And we want to talk about all of it, right? I want to just wrap it all up in like 2 minutes for you guys, but it was so much that was discussed, and it was so interactive, and it was so profound and powerful. I just get a great joy and high out of what I do. I love it so much. It brings me a sense of balance, and I know my purpose in life, and this is what it is, and being on this stage, and I just get such joy, really truly do, in my heart when I see the light for a lot of guys come on in these groups. We're towards the end, so this is always somewhat of the fun, interactive part of the curriculum. But let's talk about the grief process when you talk about a relationship. It's a loss, right? And anytime we have a loss in life, there's a grief process behind any loss, no matter what it is. It could be a pet, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a loss of a job. Same thing happens when it comes to relationship. It's very difficult to let go of what was, or what if, or what you had planned for things to be, especially if you have children, the amount of time, investments you have made with the person. We talked about it all today, and how, when is it okay to let go, and when is it okay to say, it hurts that I failed at loving and protecting and providing. It hurts that I'm fearful of the fact that I wasn't able to give my all and be my very best self. You're going to go through pain, anxiety, depression, rage, anger, frustration, sadness, loneliness. All of that is going to happen because those are natural human emotions that take place when we go through losses in life or anything in life. But how we handle them is the key. And I told the guys today, listen, you have a right to scream and yell at the top of the mountain and say why, or say I'm angry, or say I'm upset. What you don't have the right to do is verbally abuse, psychologically abuse, emotionally abuse, sexually abuse, financially abuse a person, right? You don't have a right to abuse me, but you have a right to say I'm angry, I'm in pain, and I'm disappointed, or I'm let down, or I'm disgusted, whatever that adjective may be for that emotion. But the key is to identify that emotion and communicate about that emotion. And a lot of times men don't have that ability to do that. Women, we tend to do it a little better. Some of us don't, but a majority of us do. And talk about the feeling of isolation that takes place when you lose a family, when you lose a relationship. Talk about how that makes you feel as a man, as a partner, as a person. And I promise you, you will get through that process, and be okay with the fact that the loss and grief process is not on anybody else's terms but yours. It's a roller coaster ride. You may have your high highs and your low lows, and there may be days where you feel great, and there may be days where you feel horrible. On those days you feel horrible, counteract that with things that are going to make you feel joy, not drugs and alcohol. Don't turn to mind games. Don't turn to retaliation tactics, because that's just going to put you back at square one, which is the violations of abusing someone that got you in a position where you're in a domestic violence group, where you're spending money on domestic violence education, you're in a court case docket, you're in jail, or worse, not being able to come back from something that you did so catastrophically, okay? So we talk about healthy coping mechanisms, but the key is communication, identifying those emotions and owning those emotions, and understanding what the loss and grief cycle is, and knowing how to get through it, because the loss and grief cycle is a part of life, and it goes through waves, and it will end. It will. But we have to be able to know how to ride out each and every one of those roller coaster rides of grief, rage, pain, fears, and anxiety. That's all for now. It's so much more I can say to you all, but I don't want to make this video any longer than it already is. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to talking with you and sharing more hot topic discussions. Until then, have a great and safe weekend.